You're listening to Mike James Rock Show with Dan and Mike.
Right, it's Mike from the Mike James Rock Show, and joining us today is one of the hottest bands in the US at the moment, the Funeral Portraits lead singer, Lee. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's good to see you, man. Whereabouts in the world are you at the moment?
So thankfully, we are not on tour right now. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
We got about a week left at home before we hit the road again for another basically 3 months.
Wow. I've just been looking at your tour schedule, and it's quite hectic. You're going out with the Used, and is it Underoath as well you're playing with?
Yep. And then we have some shows of Ice Nine Kills as well. So, yep. Oh, I could see with the hat.
Hey.
So, yes.
I was going to bring that up later because obviously you've got Spencer on a tune.
Yes.
So how's Atlanta at the moment? For me, it's the second home of hip hop at the moment. It seems to be.
You are not wrong there. I mean, it's great. I love it here. You know, I was born and raised here, and for me, it's weird because like we've had some really successful rock bands come from here as well. You know, over the years, and I think it's really cool. You know, especially with us, we use a little bit of the Southern twang, you know, that we have in some of the songs, you know, like Holy Water and stuff. So I don't know. I just kind of like to bring that Southern charm to our band.
Yeah, I was listening to it because obviously you've got these big anthemic kind of sounds, but then when you listen to your vocals and some of the lyrics, it's like that's more of a sort of deep South kind of sound to it. It's you know, if you took away the anthemicness of it and say put you as a frontman of someone like Black Stone Cherry, for instance, I think your voice would suit that kind of style as well. It's very sort of driven by blues, I'd imagine.
Yep. Oh, for sure. So it's kind of crazy because for me, like a lot, like, you know, because country music is huge down here as well. But, you know, we're so close to like Nashville and like that whole thing. And, you know, I think for me, I grew up like a theater kid. So I kind of like the theatrics of the South and the way that, you know, what we could kind of do that's a little different too with our band. And I, you know, that Black Stone Cherry, I mean, the idea of bringing them up, I agree there. You know, I think I like to have a little twang in my voice and a little, you know, Southern drawl, I guess, as we should say. So
yeah. It also means that wherever you are in the world, you're fully representing where you're from, because people can go like, well, normally the bands that we see play have either got like an LA sort of sound to them or a New York or, you know, that kind of thing. But
exactly,
you're bang in the center there, and it's just like, yeah, this is wholesome. This is great. It's almost like Post Maloney in places. If that not an insult, I know some people.
No, that's not at all. No, and I get that because we definitely do have a little bit of like a pop sensibility around certain things, especially our choruses, you know. And I think a lot of that comes in the style of like what we all listen to or what we all like, you know. And we like a catchy song, right? Like for us, that's just who we are. So I want to write catchy music and stuff that gets stuck in your head.
It definitely does. We're basically chatting because it's leading up to the deluxe edition of your album coming out with was it 5 new tracks on it?
Oh yes,
with a whole bunch of guests as well. I was looking at it, it's like, that's sick, because we've played the Ivan Mooney track, and that's phenomenal, and the video to that as well. How did you get him to do that? Because he's a busy man.
You have no idea how busy. So I'm going to go through this story real fast. So last year we got the opportunity to go on tour with Five Finger Death Punch. And, you know, at the beginning of the tour, our label was trying to set us up to have him feature on the song right before the tour came out, right? So that way we could kind of be promoting it while we're on tour together. Well, he was coming back from Europe because they had just finished a European tour, and he I guess some stuff happened with his like personal life, with like moving and all this stuff. And he was like, you know what? I can't do it. So we had to put it on the back burner.
That's fair enough.
And during the tour, we became like close. He was so welcoming, and he was just so cool to us the whole time. And like I'd be at catering, and then all of a sudden sitting next to me is Ivan Moody. You know what I mean? He'd just be sitting down and just chilling and kind of giving us advice and just being a really cool dude. And, you know, the tour ended, and, you know, we kind of stayed in touch through Instagram a lot. And then our song Holy Water started playing on the radio. And he apparently heard it. This is from him. I literally have a voice message. He literally called me one day and he left me a voice message and he said, "Hey, I was just driving in Colorado where he is, and he was like, I just heard Holy Water on the radio." He's like, "Bro, like, is that the song that you wanted me to be on? Hit me back." And I hit him back and he was like, "Oh, dude, let's do it. Let's just do it now." And I said, "Okay." So he just randomly did it one day, and then we were like, "Okay, now I guess we need a music video." And he was like, "Oh yeah, just fly the guy out to me and let's shoot the music video." So we flew out our director out there, and he did his parts, and we did our parts, and we kind of just put them together.
It's so good as well. It's just like the whole the cliffs and the whole like landscape of it all. It's just like, wow, this looks like big production, but it also looks like it's very easily done at the same time.
Well, and that's because that's what we wanted. The thing is we want the crazy videos and all that stuff, but in modern day time, we don't have $100,000 like well, like you have your Ice Nine Kills videos or your Falling in Reverse or In This Moment or whoever it is at the moment. All those bands have like $100,000 music videos, if not more, and like, I don't know, we're just a tiny little band, and we're just like, yeah, let's try our best. And I'm so hyped of how the video turned out. I was so impressed.
Nice. I like that, man. That's cool. Because nowadays you can have these high production values and edit it all on your laptop in the tour bus, and it goes out, and everyone's going like, "Oh, who did your video? Who did your video?" It's like, we did it for $2, man.
Yeah, no, literally. That's literally us. That is our band. That's what we do, but that's why we take great care of what we're doing too, because like every little bit matters, like we have these icons that represent every song, and like all these everything's very lore driven. We're working on a comic book. I mean, we have so many things going on that it's like, it's so lore driven that you kind of want to get lost in it, and you don't care that the music video only cost us $5,000. You know what I mean? Like, because of the story and what we're trying to tell, I hope that it just like kind of brings it all together.
But it's also it's relatable to the demographic audience as well, because they're all going to be skint college kids that go in like, well, if they can do it, then we can do it as well, kind of thing.
That's exactly it.
You mentioned Ice Nine Kills. Spencer's on one of the tracks. I love that guy. He's so much fun. But you've also got Bert from The Used on it. How did that come out?
A dream. Literally a dream. Long story short, our A&R, she is the best A&R on planet Earth. She believes so heavily in our band, and she kind of just lets us do us, and she of course ropes us in when we're a little too crazy, but but that's every band. But she was like, "Hey, send me a list of some artists that you would love to feature on your record," right? On there was Spencer, right? Mm-hmm. On there was Ivan Moody. On there was Bert from The Used. Okay, crazy, right? I was like, if we could get one of those, that would be cool, right? And we got all three. What? And the thing with Bert is, it was like, she was like, "Oh, I know his manager. Let me just send him an email," and sent him an email with the song on it. And apparently Bert listened to it and he was like, "Oh, this song's rad. Like, let me do it. Let's do it." He literally recorded it the next day. Like, because in the email I sent all the files and everything too, so that way he could just easily do it. And he literally the next day he did it. He sent it back, edited, ready to go. And I was like, "Okay, thanks." You know what I mean? And this is the point too. It's like, he didn't just do like a verse, right? He did like a verse, a chorus. He like did like half of the song, and I was like, it was a big moment for me. Like, I couldn't believe it.
That's phenomenal. I also saw on one of the tracks that's going to be on the deluxe edition, you're working with Danny Warsnop, who's a Nashville resident now, but is obviously from Askin Alexandria, who are UK based.
Yes.
Is that just a meeting of locals, basically?
That was kind of label based, because Asking on Better Noise, and I think it was one of those things. Again, for me, I love his voice. I think he has one of the coolest like voices in rock music. It sucks because like his like solo stuff too should be massive because
His
he's
country
got
stuff is phenomenal.
yes,
Yeah.
he should be a huge country star, you know, and maybe give it a few more years, you know, when the best thing about country I will say is like the dude could be like 65 and be a living legend by then because like it doesn't matter about age in the country world.
No.
So like I think his time in country music is coming because he's got such a cool voice. And that was one of those things that I wanted him on Holy Water because I thought, oh, his country twang is this country voice. Because I was like, I want him on Holy Water. We sent him Holy Water and Dark Thoughts. And he was like, yo, I love Dark Thoughts. I love what it means. Let me do that. And I was like, okay. Like, so that was kind of crazy. I love that song together. So.
Because when you think, well, coming from the UK, we've seen them in venues playing to like 50 people when they're on their very first kind of van tour type thing. He was proper screaming and stuff. And then he kind of left Asking and started another kind of more sort of rock and roll type band. And then,
it was like Southern rock, right?
It was cool. Even that had elements of the sort of grassroots blues and country in it. And then we hear that he's back in the band, but he's kind of doing the offside of, you know, on his side projects, it's all blue, it's all country rock, and we were like, but how's he going to still do Asking? Because that's two different styles, and I don't think he screams as much besides the actual bits he needs to scream during the Asking. Yeah. But it's just like, wow, that's crazy.
It is.
Yeah. So the album's out in June, so we've got quite a little run up to that. Is there going to be any more tracks off it that are unreleased, or is that?
There's from what I know, there's one more coming out. I don't know if I can name drop it yet, but I will say that it's a new song. So the whole deal is. Okay. So we have, you know, the songs off the record, blah, 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 right? And then we did these deluxe versions that have like Lilith as on Hearse for 2. You know, we've got Spencer, of course, but that was on the record. But we got Ivan on Holy Water, right? Because those are like the two really, really new, deluxe like features. But we decided to add in 2 brand new songs that we've never recorded, nothing, right? They're like brand new songs. And because the reason why is we wanted the B-sides for the record weren't really, we just didn't want to release them. They were B-sides for a reason. You know what I mean? Like they didn't make the record because we didn't really love those songs. Yeah, so for us, we were like, why would we release them? So we picked, you know, a song that's older that was like a true B-side, and that's called Lost Boy. And that song will be out when the record's out. But there's 2 new songs, and one's called Skinny Lies and one is called Evergreen. And both of those we actually recorded in January of this year.
Turnover.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, that's how we work. We're very fast. So which is weird because we used to not be very fast and now we're very fast. So yeah, I think one of those 2 songs are going to be coming out before the record's out.
That's nice. Are you still writing constantly as well then? Or is it just kind of concentrate on the tour, then we'll do some writing?
I wanted it to be concentrate, just do tour, then writing. But here's the issue is if you wait till the last minute to just do all your writing, then you're going to be burnt. You know what I mean? You're going to just be so burnt out. So we're demoing. We've got 2 songs demoed that could maybe make the next record or EP or singles or whatever's next. We don't know. I think that's part of it is like there's no pressure from the label yet. Yet. You know, here's the deal is this year is focusing on touring, right? Yeah. I think towards the end of the year, once we're back from, because we're going on tour with the Rasmus.
You are. I was going to bring that up in a second. That's cool.
Yes, that's going to be crazy.
Both those bands together, both your band and their band together is amazing.
Yep. And we're actually bringing them here to the States in about a month. So
that's with Archers as well, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Love those guys.
They're a great band. Some of the tunes they've been putting out lately is just nice. We've played them a lot.
Exactly. I love that. We love those guys so much. And so but like with that tour ends like the one with Rasmus. That's like December 6th is the last show.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah, around that time. And then right afterwards. I think we'll take some time off, like to be home with family.
Yeah,
So
it's that time
probably
of
like,
year, isn't it?
yeah, probably the day after Christmas, we'll go into the studio. I think that's what we're gonna try and do. So like spend as much time like for like 2-3 weeks with family, enjoy Christmas, and
Yeah,
then let's just go right into the studio. Let's start this. Let's see what comes out. So we'll
that's
see.
cool. And it's quite a large tour of Europe you're doing as well. Like a huge number of dates in the UK, and then you're
Yes.
moving out onto the mainland as well, where the Rasmus are. They are very well loved. They did. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Eurovision. It's
Yes. Oh
yeah.
yes.
Well, they did that a few years ago, representing their country, and
Yep.
I got to interview them just before they did the heats,
Mm.
and then obviously they won their national heat and went off to Eurovision finals. But then I got to interview them a month or so after playing it, and it was just like bookending the Eurovision with the Rasmus was just an experience in itself, just from an interviewee's kind of perspective. But they've definitely got stage presence and the whole aesthetic of it, a bit like yourselves. I think that's a perfect match.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's a really good fit. Again, like I grew up, I remember watching them. You know what I mean? I mean, they don't really, it doesn't, I don't know how it's going to translate really here in the States. Cause I think the last time they were over here was like, they said something like 16 years ago or something,
Wow.
like something crazy. You know what I mean? So I guess for me, it's like, okay, we'll see how this goes. But like, I don't know. I think it's one of those things. As soon as we started communicating, and as soon as we started like really talking and hanging out with them, like via like Zoom and stuff, because I've been talking with them a good bit about a lot of different things. So I think it fits so well.
That's cool. I do have a couple more questions before we wrap up because we're quickly running out of time.
It sounds like me. Yes, I'll talk and talk and talk. So
there's a great video that came out from you guys halfway through a gig. You just jump off stage and smash a bowling ball down the alley, which was in the venue. Was that just predetermined, or did you just spur of the moment? It's like, you know what, I could sing and bowl at the same time. And did you
okay. So I knew I like shenanigans, right? I'm a huge shenanigans fan. Like I'll do anything for a good laugh. So for me, it was one of those moments of being like, okay, we were playing a bowling alley, right? It's so here it's like a chain of venues called Brooklyn Bowl.
Okay.
And so like they'll have a venue with a stage, really nice sound. It's a great venue. It's ran by Live Nation. It's great, right? And then there's bowling alley attached, right? So it's a cool experience, something different.
There's one in Bristol in the UK that's called the Lanes, and
okay.
It does all sorts from burlesque shows through to live music, and then a couple of lanes of bowling next to it.
Bowling, yeah. And so I saw that there was people there bowling, and they weren't bowling during the set. So I was like, if I go over there and I grab it and I do it, how funny would that be? And then I knew exactly what song I needed to do it at, what part I needed to do it at, and I told our merch girl, I was like, hey, like during this song, make sure you follow me with your camera. And so she did. And I just kept going, and I kept singing and I kept doing it. It was so funny.
It's just one of those things. It's like, this will be ideal for, the socials. And
it was one of those things too. I think for me, yeah, I think about that, but I also I wanted those kids that were at that show to be like, what in the heck is happening?
Yeah. And then they'll tell their mates about it, and then the next time you roll through town, they're like, "Oh, that was that band that we went and saw, and we told you about where we did bowling halfway through the set." And it's just those little things that make you stick in people's minds. It's
exactly.
Your cover of Mad World. How did that come about? Because it's a classic song, and a lot of people have covered it. How did you come about choosing that?
So during COVID lockdown, right? Like we were just like anything to release music. So we did the cover, and at the time we were like signed to the label, but things were just so slow because we couldn't tour, right?
Of course.
So we were like, what can we do? What can we do? So we were trying to think of songs, and I had just watched Donnie Darko. And that song,
Perfect.
especially that version, because it's more the Gary Jules version, where he plays it very down and it's very mellow or whatever. And I was like, that's the song. I want to do that, And so we did it, and it's crazy because we released it on YouTube back in 2020.
I think
Like it was
that's
just YouTube.
That's when I
Yep.
saw it. It was back then, but back in the sort of like lockdown type of time. It's
Yep.
like, oh, I've never heard of this band before. So, and then fast forward 5 years later, we're having
Exactly.
a chat.
We like actually got to release it and stuff. And it seems to be, it's in like our top 10 on Spotify, which I'm like so surprised on. Like, again, we've never played it live. Well, it's one of those things that we also did a version of Creep by Radiohead. And that was, again, I didn't pick that one. That was a label choice, but it turned out so well, and people like it really enjoyed it. We did play that one live before, just a test. But like again, we're not really a band that we don't want to like play a lot of covers live and stuff that. I don't. It's also hard. Like when you get like 30 minutes, you got 5 or 6 songs or 7 songs. Like you got to choose. And for us, I'm like, I'm not choosing one to be a cover. Unless it's like huge. Right now, don't get me wrong. If Mad World blows up and people like really, really want us to play live, we'll play live, of course, But for right now, we're not. But I do really like our version. I just listened to it like 2 days ago. So
it's good to have it in the repertoire for your own headliners when you get an hour on stage and you can go, actually, we've got a couple of covers. We can just pull one out. An encore or something. Yeah. It's like, one final question. Can I be a member of the Coffin Crew?
Of course, everyone is welcome. Please.
It sounds like you've created this ideal community, and it's got a name and an identity, and that's something that the fans can get involved with. Especially as you said earlier, you've got this comic book, graphic novel type thing coming out. It all sounds like it's the whole experience of the funeral portrait.
Well, that's what it is. I guess for me, it's more than just music. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of bands that I love. Look at Ice Nine Kills, right? Like I love that band. I like the way they sound, but I also love all the lore. I love what he does. I love, I think they do such a great job with their fans. You know what I mean? I think they have a great, and I think what it is it's because Spencer's a fan of horror movies, so he knows what it is to be a fan, right? And that's the same thing with me. Is I'm a fan of music, right? I'm a fan of musicals. I'm a fan of the theatrics. So for me, I know what it is to be a fan. So I want to give our fans what they get with us.
That's cool. That's what it's all about, man. That's how you build the community, and everyone knows all about you.
Yeah.
Lee, we are pretty much running out of time. It's been an absolute pleasure having a chat with you.
Hey, thank you so much.
I'm hoping I'll get to one of the UK gigs with the Rasmus, and we can do this face to face, and we might have a bit more time.
Yes, if you bug me on social media about it too, and I'll make sure that you get in. So
okay, yeah, no worries at all. That'd be cool.
So, because I don't know how press goes. Oh, I submitted or whatever, and I don't care. So you just bug me personally on my Instagram, and I got you.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Nice one.
Awesome.
Thanks very much for joining.
Thank you, friend. Yep, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks very much, buddy. Cheers.
Later, my man.
Cheers. Bye-bye.